2 games, 1 opponent, 16 records shattered. But somehow that wasn't even the biggest story. Because while everyone was focused on the record books, something else was happening right in front of them. The trash talk was getting louder, the hits were getting harder, tempers were rising. And Caitlin Clark was finding herself in the middle of one of the most heated rivalries of the young WNBA season. What started as a regular matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Golden State Valkyries quickly turned into something much bigger. By the time it was over, players were jawing at each other, fans were debating controversial calls, and the entire league was talking about what Clark had just done. And the craziest part? Golden State's original plan may have completely backfired. Because instead of slowing Clark down, they may have helped unleash an even more dangerous version of the Fever. And it all started with a strategy that looked brilliant at first. From the opening tip of their first meeting, Golden State made their intentions obvious. They weren't going to give Clark anything easy. Every touch was contested. Every cut was bumped. Every possession felt like a fight. Meanwhile, Golden State seemed frustrated that their original strategy wasn't producing the results they expected. And then came one of the moments everyone would be talking about afterward. Caitlin Clark launched a deep 3. Not just deep, ridiculously deep. The kind of shot that makes fans stand before the ball even reaches the rim. The shot dropped, the crowd erupted, and Clark immediately let everyone know how she felt. She wasn't backing down, not from the physical defense, not from the trash talk, not from anybody. The reactions spread instantly. Fans noticed it, analysts noticed it, even players noticed it. Because this version of Clark looked different. The talent had always been there. The passing had always been there. The shooting had always been there. But now there seemed to be an edge, a willingness to embrace the confrontation instead of avoiding it. And that could be a scary development for the rest of the league. Because when elite players start enjoying the battle, things can become very difficult for opponents. And while all of this drama was unfolding, the record books were quietly getting destroyed, one after another. Again and again. Some records had stood for years, others had stood for decades, and a few had never even been approached before. Clark was scoring, passing, creating, controlling games in ways that very few players ever have. What makes it even more impressive is that these weren't empty numbers. Indiana was winning, the offense was thriving, teammates were benefiting. Everything was connected. When Clark attacked, defenders collapsed. When defenders collapsed, shooters got open. When shooters were covered, Boston punished teams inside. The entire system was feeding off itself. And suddenly the Fever looked much more dangerous than many people expected entering the season.